On one of the 38 bills in yesterday's Queen's speech is a fresh plan to end the prosecution of Northern Ireland veterans. The new law, very long promised by the government, will set up a commission for reconciliation and information recovery and give immunity to anyone who agrees to appear before it. British soldier or IRA member, whichever you are, as long as you reveal what happened to the Troubles victims, you will not be prosecuted for anything you've done. Dennis Hutchings was a former guardsman pursued over a historic killing and put on trial for the attempted murder of 27-year-old John Pat Cunningham. Cunningham was shot dead as he ran from troops in County Tyrone in Northern Ireland in 1974. Dennis Hutchings always maintained he was innocent of the killing and that he'd only fired in the air as a warning. Dennis died of COVID last year, aged 80, while on trial for the third time. Tragic end that outraged the entire veterans community. Dennis's family, though, have decided not to leave it there. And joining me in the studio is John Hutchings, Dennis's son, and his lawyer, who defended Dennis, Matt Jury. Guys, thanks for joining me.
Hi, Tom.
John, I want to come to you first and ask you about this bill that the government is bringing in. As we were just saying, it's going to protect veterans, offering them immunity, but if they come forward and say what they knew about what it is they're alleged to have done, are you happy with it?
I'll be happy with it if it ever becomes a proper bill. I know it was mentioned in the Queen's speech yesterday, but it's not a bill yet. I used to talk to my dad quite a lot about it, and he said just you have to stay calm with it, see if it actually goes through and to become a bill. I don't think he thought it ever would. It's been in the Tory manifesto since 2019, and we're still waiting for it to happen now. So if it happens, we'll wait and see. I don't think it'll happen.
You don't?
I don't think it'll happen, though. It's taken too long, and they keep promising that they're going to bring it into a bill, but they never. And it's taken 3 years already, so it's too late for my father. But me personally, I don't think it will come through.
And what would have meant to your father if he'd been given that immunity by the state for his service before he died?
I think it would have meant everything for him. But I think he wasn't interested in an amnesty. I think he was interested in going to court for himself to clear his name, and also to help soldiers behind him. But it would have meant everything for my father to clear his name in court, properly in court. Yeah.
Do you think it'll make a difference to soldiers now who are in your father's position right now, potentially with criminal trials coming up for something that they're accused of having done 40, 50 years ago?
I don't know. I really don't know that, mate, sir.
OK. Matt, let me come to you now. You're taking Dennis's case to the European Court of Human Rights.
That's right.
That's quite an extraordinary development because, of course, Dennis was never convicted of anything. As we've just been discussing, he's now very sadly deceased. What exactly are you asking the Court of Human Rights to do?
So, to be clear, I didn't defend Dennis during his criminal proceedings. That was a wonderful solicitor called Philip Barden, who should get the credit for sticking by Dennis all those years. We were responsible for bringing a legal challenge on behalf of Dennis, and indeed Dennis always said it was on behalf of all veterans, for what is demonstrably discriminatory treatment of veterans by the Northern Ireland prosecution services. I mean, ultimately, the figures don't lie, and if you are a veteran, you are 54 times more likely to be prosecuted than a Republican paramilitary in Northern Ireland for a Troubles-related offence post-98, post the Belfast Agreement. Those are the statistics, and to me, I'm sorry, but that's an incredible figure. It really is. So since 2015 to 2021, there were a total of 9 Troubles-related prosecutions, and 6 of those were veterans. 3 of those were Republican paramilitaries. And yet Republican paramilitaries were responsible for 60% of deaths during the Troubles, 30% by loyalist paramilitaries, and 10% were British Army. So the numbers just don't stack up.
But you want the court in Strasbourg to find Dennis's prosecution unlawful?
We want the court in Strasbourg to recognise that Dennis was subject to a discriminatory and vexatious process, ultimately. Sadly, Dennis...
And that's possible despite the fact he's obviously no longer with us.
It is. So Dennis's family have decided to continue with that process. That process was started while Dennis was still alive, but obviously, sadly, since he passed away, that was a decision for the family, and I think they feel very strongly that whilst it's not the outcome that Dennis wanted to see through his criminal proceedings and ultimately be vindicated, which he would have been. I have no doubt about that. But I think this will go some way to showing that he was subject to an unfair process.
And Matt, as a lawyer, how do you rate your own chances?
Pretty good. Pretty good, I would say. As I said, the numbers don't lie. So, and there are questions to be asked and answers are needed as to why this was allowed to happen.
John, finally to you, if you win in Strasbourg, will that be a fitting tribute to your father's memory?
It will be, yeah. My father, what he wanted to do at the end of the court hearing was just to walk out of court with his fist pumping the air, and after 5 years of sort of going through all the sort of like trials and tribulations that he went through, and I would love to just be there when it happens so I can pump the air for him and tell him he's a clear man. He's free. He's a free, clear man, you know, free man.
An innocent man.
An innocent man, sorry, yeah. An innocent man.
John Hutchings and Matt Jury, thanks so much for coming in tonight.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.